Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Shit Moms Won't Say. Tonight, I have on someone so fun. She is a Midwesterner turned badass New Yorker turned Palm Springs inhabitant. I don't really know where the hell she is in the world right now. We'll see. We'll catch up with her. She is the creator of the wildly hilarious and popular song Mama Hangover Blues, mom of two very cute little girls, my longtime friend, Kathryn Diaz. Hello, my friend. Welcome. Oh, we're doing midday drinks. Mm-hmm. You know, I had a feeling you might be drinking in the middle of the day because you wrote a song called Mom Hangover Blues, so I felt like it was only fair that I did too. So right, cheers and welcome to my show. Could I drink that like any more of a lesbian? Did you see that? I was like, let me hold down this beer real quick.
You a little bit.
Should I pick you up and be like very? Was that more effeminate for you?
Yes.
I just want to make sure you're comfortable. That's really all that matters.
Just
is your comfortability.
Or maybe just try a little.
Just try a little. I'll give it an effort. I am wearing my best NASA t-shirt, so I do feel like very, very feminine today. Welcome, my friend. I'm so excited to have you here. I know you are sitting pretty in Palm Springs right now, where I am sitting on Long Island.
Yeah, it's really hot here. It's like 120 degrees out.
Am I supposed to pity you, or okay? Yeah. So it's not. I wasn't supposed to pity you around that. The 120 in Palm Springs.
I mean, it's a little brutal. The hottest day on record was the other day in Death Valley ever. 130 degrees.
Ever.
Wow.
I wonder if there's any terminology for that, like global warming or something.
Yeah, but I feel like that's something we're not really talking about right now.
I just feel like the climate is changing, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Someone should study that and create a plan. Well, I think, you are a passionate fan of my show, obviously, so as is everyone. We're going to jump right into the big mom three. So same three questions that I ask every mom. You probably know what they are at this point, and that's okay. So first question, did you always know you wanted to be a mom?
I feel like I knew more in college.
What a strange time to figure that out.
I know. I was doing summer stock back in the day, and there was this theater troupe that came in with two kids, and I just played with them all the time, and they ended up just wanting me to babysit, and I just really enjoyed it. And then there was a point too where I just would see babies, and I would just want to make one. Baby.
I couldn't be more the opposite of that. In college, that was literally the last thing I was thinking about was having my own children. So you're the first person to give that answer. So, and tell me the breakdown of your girls. I know two girls, Marilyn and Roxy, adorable.
Yeah, Marilyn's 9, and Roxanne, but we call her Roxy, she's 6. I kind of named my girls sort of vixen names. It wasn't really planned. It just sort of happened.
They have no shot at not being cool.
It's true.
You set them up for success.
Yeah. I mean, and Roxy is she's a Roxy. It's a very fitting name. And then Marilyn is, she's a Marilyn diva, but the best kind of diva.
I love it. Okay. Question number 2. What is the shittiest or most backhanded piece of advice or story, whatever you want to tell around another mom talking to you?
Okay, so it was when I was pregnant with Roxy. I was 7.5 months pregnant. So let me backtrack. Marilyn was breached. Okay, so she was sitting up forever. She didn't turn. And then I got a sonogram for Roxy, and they thought she was actually sideways. So she was just hanging like this. So I went to the playground as I always do, and there was this mom there with a newborn baby, and she had an emergency C-section, and we just kind of started chatting, and I'm like, oh my God, I know, I think they think my baby might be sideways. And she was with her mom, and they're like, oh my God, man, you're gonna have to get a T-section.
T-section?
What's a T-section? And the mom chimed in and she said, yeah, you're gonna have to get a banana split. What is a banana split? They're like, well, they cut you like this, and they cut you like this, like a T, and then they peel you like a banana. I'm just like, oh my God, this is terrible. And they just had such pity on me. And like at one point, like one of their friends was like on the ground and she was nursing her like 5-year-old child.
Like laying on the ground or sitting
like
on
laying on her side, like nursing
like
her
a tea,
5-year-old.
sort
Yeah,
of
and
like
she
your
was giving
baby.
me this. Yeah, and she was giving me this like pity party look the whole time, like, oh, that poor mom having to get the banana split. So, anyways, I'm like, I got to get out of this playground. Like, I'm not feeling this vibe here. I went home and like I started crying. I'm like, I can't believe I'm gonna have to get it banana split. And I called my OBGYN and I'm like, am I gonna have to get like a C-section because Roxy's sideways? And she's like, who told you you're gonna have to get a C-section? Like, no. So it was, she's like, if you did have to get a C-section, it would just be one, just one little incision.
Gentle line.
But yeah, it was just like not true. It was wrong information and it terrified me. And yeah, so
that's terrible. That like that goes above and beyond like backhanded advice. That's just like straight up things you shouldn't say to a pregnant woman.
Yeah, you think?
I do. I really do. That's awful. I've also never heard of a C-section, a banana split, none of that. And I know I'm not like hot on the terminology, but I think that's made up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna consult Dr. Google later. We'll see.
Yeah.
Third of the big mom 3, what is a skill that you had before becoming a mom that you feel has really helped you as a mom?
Oh, sorry, the TV's on in the background a little bit.
Yeah, we all got kids. No one cares.
I would actually say it's kind of random, but like just being a social person and someone that can like start up conversations with people that tell you about, getting a C-section, but just like going to the playground and being able to like make friends pretty easily. That's been a great skill because it's like, you need that support system with like new mom friends. You guys can talk about all the things that it entails because everyone's going through everything at the same time. So yeah.
Well, that's a good one. You're so social. So like, do you just like walk up to people and talk to them then?
Yeah, you're just not there yet, because once you start going to the playground, it changes. I don't know, you just kind of randomly start chatting, and then like you kind of like vibe with the mom. You're like, yeah, we're kind of getting each other, and then you set up a play date, and then you become friends with their moms that you kind of jive with too, and it just kind of like
you got mom crew.
You'll see, like when how old's your little girl now?
She's 9 months.
She's 9 months. So like it changes like when you start what I like to call like the hover over stage when they're not quite walking and you have to make sure that they don't like stumble to their death.
Yeah, she's on the like pulling herself up phase right now, the cruising.
Yeah.
The cruising.
Hey, just 1 second.
Yeah, go to town.
Loud.
Tell them to shut up.
Hey guys, can you turn that down a little bit, please? Just call me mother.
I'm not even gonna edit it out. I think it's important. You're drinking beer in the afternoon in Palm Springs, yelling at your family, and I'm
Mother of the Year.
Mother of the Year. Me too. Me too. What can you do? So hey, listen, you wrote this really fun song. It's called Mama Hangover Blues. I will absolutely be posting it. I think people should listen to it because it's super funny. The beer that you chose to highlight during it it's horrible. It's, Corona's all over it. But I want to hear the story of this song because it's so like, it's so true. It's all about just like, I can't function today because mama has a hangover.
Right.
And I should also say, like, when you and I were talking back and forth a little bit before this, you were like, the story of how I came to like write this thing isn't super funny. And I said to you, I was like, well, listen, the show is not like a knee-slapping laugh riot all the time. Try as I might, it's just not. And it's about real stories and real moms with cool things that have happened. So, I'd love to hear about it, and I'd love to hear what you're hoping to do with it.
Okay. Well, we wrote it in June of 2019. So the way that we conceptualized it was I was with one of my really good friends, Claire, at a play date, and we were just talking about like Claire's not afraid to have a good time.
Love you.
We were just talking about how it just sucks to be a mom and have a hangover because it's like you go out with your friends, you have like a late night, and then you wake up and it's like game on, and all you really want to do is like eat a burger and just veg, all day. But you can't. So all of a sudden, like during this play date, I was like, you know what? That's kind of like a mama hangover. Like that's a country song. I don't know. We were just joking. Like that's like a country song. Like, So anyways, we also have a friend at the school. His name is Cheo. He's a musician. Just, happens to have a Grammy or two. No big deal.
Oh, that's cool. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So we were at, I was sitting in the back of Maryland's second grade graduation ceremony, which honestly, like they have graduation ceremonies like every year, and they're like kind of long.
They're participation trophies, really, at that point.
Yeah, like in my opinion, like I want fifth. I'll be like with bells on. I will go to a fifth grade graduation, eighth grade, senior year, college, master's, then PhD. Like I'll go to those. I'll go to those with bells on. But every year, it's like so boring. And anyways, I was sitting in the back of the auditorium, and I was actually really sad because my mother had just passed away like 2 weeks before. So I was kind of by myself, there were other people around me, but I was just alone, sitting alone. And then all of a sudden I saw Claire and Cheo on the other side of the auditorium, and we're all very good friends. Like the three of us just like, we click when we're together. And I'm like, let me just go sit with Claire and Cheo. They always cheer me up. And they were actually talking about the concept of the song when I sat down. So during the second grade graduation ceremony that we weren't paying attention to at all, we started like hashing out the lyrics for it. So we kind of got like a little bit of a foundation down. And then,
I can't wait for your kid to watch this in a few years from now and be like, what? I was singing my heart out up there. Whatever whatever obligatory group song I'm sure they had that year.
Yeah.
You didn't pay attention at all.
No, we were writing another song. Then we went to Cheo's apartment like a week later. And he has like this Melissa and Doug dry erase board that he found like on the street corner.
Yeah.
And that's how he writes all of his songs. So we just like drank beers and like hashed out all the lyrics and like had so much fun, we were like drinking, writing and laughing. And then like a week later or so we went to Cheo's studio and we recorded, and he like, I can carry a tune, but like if you listen to my voice in the song, it's very like
I think you sound good. I was impressed. I was like, I didn't even know she could sing. So
yeah. But anyways, and then he told us to like improv a little bit. So we were just like messing around and just having fun. So it was just like a great experience, like the best sort of songwriting experience you could ever have, because it was all just done with like based out of like love and friendship, and just it just like helped me get through what was like a really hard time because my mom, and because I was just laughing all the time.
That's so helpful. Yeah, that's incredible. Is there like a phase 2 of this song, or they're like, I don't know?
Yeah, well, I mean, it came out a while ago. Oh, that's another thing about a song. Like we picked a beer to write about, because like a beer that you can pace yourself with. It's like beer and water. And I was like, I love an ice cold Corona.
Starbucks and Blue Point. Yeah.
So we chose, out of all the beers, we chose Corona in June of 2019, pre-coronavirus.
Your timing is impeccable.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. And I feel like people are going to be like, she had to have written that during COVID, and you didn't. You totally predicted it, and perhaps some might say that it's your fault.
And it is.
It's your fault. It's 100% your fault. Well, that's very cool. So I love the song. It made me laugh the first time I heard it. And actually, like, that's when you and I reconnected after a while, and we were like, this is so funny. Like, we need to be talking about this song. So everybody should listen to it. Where is it easiest to find?
It's easiest to find on Spotify.
Okay.
You can look it up on YouTube as well. It's like the image. I don't know if you can tell by the image. That's actually a wall of Legos. One of my friends has a wall of Legos. So we were like, oh, it's appropriate to pose in front of Legos.
I like it. Okay. Well, I will definitely share it.
We're trying to get a video made. We're trying to get a cartoon video made. We don't necessarily, even though like I'm associating my face right now with the song, my friend Claire, she's a professional businesswoman. And anyways, she does not want to be associated. She loves the song. She's obsessed with the song, but she doesn't want her face associated with this. We want to get a cartoon made eventually because we feel like the song needs some sort of visual.
Yeah.
And then just kind of see what happens. And I don't know. The main thing is just to like make people laugh.
I feel like we've talked about Claire a lot for someone who doesn't want to be associated with the song. I feel like we brought up Claire a lot. That she's going to be like, Kathryn, I told you don't mention my name with the song, and here you are talking about it.
I just said her first name, not her last name.
I'll find it. Anyway, shifting gears a little bit. So you have an interesting story because you're from Iowa, so total like Midwestern girl, very very big family. I remember you have several siblings. Give me the breakdown. I know you have a bunch of brothers.
I'm the youngest of 5 kids.
Youngest of 5. That's right.
Yeah.
I remember there was a whole gaggle of you.
Is that too loud in the background?
No, you're fine. We're good. I can't hear anything. We're good. And if people out there are going to complain about it, they're going to complain about it, right? I can't control the comments. So come at us. Our kids are watching TV. Big fucking deal. So coming from Iowa, whole gaggle of children, the Reynolds crew, you then sort of shifted to where? From Iowa to where?
I went from Iowa, went to college in Montana, in Bozeman.
Okay.
I grew up skiing. I lived in LA for 1 year. Didn't
Not
do
for
it
you.
for me.
Didn't vibe.
I always wanted to move to New York. First time I came to New York, I was like in the 4th grade, and like I remember I was with my family, and some guy screamed in my ear, and his like, I looked back, and his arm was wrapped in duct tape, and he had sequins all over him, and he was just like looking at me like a demon. And I don't know, I was like, this town is so exciting and awesome.
Those are my people. That's my guy.
Love New York. And I just kept on coming to New York, and I just loved the city. It just, I've always clicked with this town, and I've been here a really long time. All right, I'm not here. I'm not in New York now.
Now you're sitting pretty in Palm Springs, which is
it's hard. It's hard in the city right now. I mean, the energy's really great. I talk to my friends that are there, and they're just like, the energy's amazing because the numbers are so down, and but it's also hard.
Yeah, and with 2 kids that are thinking about school and schooling in general, like I'd imagine making a move when you have the option to do so was like a very natural choice.
Yeah, it just made sense. It made sense. And I realized like that I'm incredibly lucky to have this even as an option, because some people, a lot of people don't. And anyway, so there's just, it's just a hard time. A lot of people are struggling right now. So.
Well, and so now you had mentioned to me that you're gonna start off maybe like homeschooling and then kind of assess.
Yeah, like I signed up for the blend, but I can still kind of do it remotely. And I just want to see how everything unfolds. I mean, at the end of the day, there's no good choice here. It all sucks. These circumstances are just terrible. People have to send their kids to school. People have to work, or
Yeah, it's a tough position to be in, and like obviously doing this, I've gotten to talk to a lot of different people with a lot of different opinions, and I think that overall, that's the opinion, is that it sucks. There's no right way to do it. It sucks. Whichever way you believe or don't believe, it's like there has to be some type of happy medium, and there just isn't. So, it's great that you're able to escape for a little bit and play it by ear.
Right.
So I wanna go back to like your background though. So Midwesterner turned Montana, turned New Yorker. Now you're in Palm Springs. You're married to. He's a great dude. We haven't seen each other in a very long time, but your husband Oscar is a great guy. He's from Cuba. Mm-hmm. What are like the inherent differences between growing up in Iowa, moving to New York, and then even like from your husband's perspective, like being Cuban and then now living in New York? Like, what are some things that stand out to you that are like, this would have never happened in Iowa?
Well, for me, like living in New York, the thing that I love about it the most is like that it's just like this melting pot. I mean, I have friends from all over the world. I mean, like my friend Claire, she's French. Cheo, who I wrote with, he's from Venezuela. It's just like I have just such an eclectic, incredible group of friends, and like all these really talented, cool people, decided to move to New York. And there's obviously a lot of really talented people in Iowa, but it's
not the same vibe. Yeah, it's different. That's cool. Yeah. That's cool.
Like, Iowa nice is a real thing, and that's one of the things that I love the most about when I go back to Iowa. It's just like everyone's so.
I know about Minnesota nice. So I have a lot of colleagues and friends who live in Minnesota. So Minnesota nice, I think it's different than Iowa nice. So Minnesota nice is like a passive aggressive niceness. Is Iowa nice a real niceness?
Iowa nice is a real nice. Like everywhere that you go, it's just like you just have these like sweet, genuine interactions with people. Like it's really endearing.
I've never had that in my life. That's very endearing. Like someone says hi to me and I'm like, what did you say hi to me for? Like,
I don't know you.
Like, I literally had someone wave to me from their car the other day, and like, we're in the middle of this crazy time. There isn't a ton of social interaction. Someone was like, wave to me, and I just went, like, I was so offended that somebody would like invade my space and say hello. And then as I was driving away, I was like, you're such an asshole. Like, why wouldn't you just say hi back? What a nice thing to do. So now I'm wondering if they're from Iowa, which I would imagine the answer is they have to be. They have to be from Iowa. Speaking of being from Iowa, there are some things that you and your family have created that perhaps would not have been created if you were New Yorkers. And I think it's your brother or your father who came up with this.
My brother.
Your brother.
Mm-hmm.
You guys run like a big bacon festival, and like, yeah. What's it called? The bacon festival.
It's called the Blue Ribbon Beer and Bacon Festival. So he started it in Iowa. He started doing it like kind of like during like a boring time of the year in Iowa, like February. It's like a bad month, like just a bad month. So, and he's just like a creative, funny guy. You've never met Brooks. He's so fun.
Yeah.
And just like incorporating bacon into every food, and then of course beer, and just making it a big party. And we're good. We throw fun parties in my family, and then it just became like this big thing. He got up to like 10,000 people to go to it, and then he does one in Japan. He does one in Colorado. He was doing one in Iceland for a while. Did one in Vegas, but he does these bacon bike rides where it's like affiliated with RAGBRAI, this bike ride that goes across Iowa.
Right.
And basically you ride your bike for like, 15, 20 miles. It's flat, so it's not totally hard. And then you stop in these small towns and you eat food that has bacon in it, drink a couple beers, hang out, socialize, and then get back on your bike and ride through like farmland. And it's like, Claire came back for that, actually, bringing up Claire.
He's creating the perfect experience. That's really incredible.
Awesome. I would love to take you. You would.
I would love to go. And as I've mentioned here, like, I'm not really a big drinker anymore, but I mean, mine is drinking at 3 o'clock in the afternoon with you. But like beer, bacon, bike riding.
So much fun.
I'm in.
I'm in. That one. That's the one that I always go home for.
I love that. That's so cool. So I mean, it turned into this big thing, and I know you had told me like your father was on the cover of what, with bacon in his mouth, like.
Yeah, my dad has a bacon suit. My brother makes bacon pants, and so it's like just a suit that has like bacon strips on it. And there's a picture of my dad. This is years ago, but he was eating a bacon strip, like, and it was on the cover of the New York Times.
That's so cool. That's so cool. So with everything going on, I mean, I get you had said it's normally in February, so I think we just sort of missed this craziness.
Yeah, the Blue Ribbon Beer and Bacon Festival is normally in February. The Beer and Bacon Bike Ride is in June, but like, a lot of his events have been canceled.
Yeah, and I think it's probably a hard thing to virtualize, right? Because it's a very like tactile experience. You have to be able to drink and eat and smell all the smells. So
yeah,
are there plans for this year, or is everything sort of on hold for right now?
Everything's kind of on hold. So
okay.
It is, like everybody. There's so many things on hold.
A massive eye roll. Well, I remember when you and I met many, many years ago, you're like, my brother does this cool thing. And I was like, what is she talking about? Like a beer and bacon festival. And I told you before we started recording this and got on, I was talking to Katie and she was like, oh my God, of course I remember Kathryn. Her family's in bacon.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all, but maybe it is. Maybe your family is in bacon.
Yeah.
Like
my family is very involved in bacon. We're a lot of pigs.
I love it.
My brother has so many pigs tattooed on his body. Yeah. He's a bacon strip actually tattooed in his middle finger. Actually, not big on hand tattoos. What do you
like that one?
Pull it off.
I'm into that. What do your kids think of it? Do they think it's a cool thing that their uncle does, or do they not think it's cool yet?
Marilyn kind of gets it and thinks it's cool. Roxy's just too young to care. But like my nephews think my brother's like a god. I think he's the coolest thing since sliced bread.
I love it. Well, listen, my friend, it has been really, really fun spending some time with you. It's so nice to see your face. I'm going to start to wrap this up. I'm going to ask you the same question I ask everyone else. And it can be whatever you want, any type of answer you want. What is one thing you wish you knew before becoming a mom that you know now?
The big thing is like you thought you didn't have a lot of time before you had children. Really hard to like manage your time when you have kids. So my advice is like, if you have, you can get things obviously accomplished when you have kids, but there's just so much to manage. I don't know, it's like accomplish as many of your goals as humanly possible before you have children.
Yeah.
Because you're just not going to have the time.
You're not gonna be able to do it.
It's hard to, it's
hard to do it.
It's hard to do it all. And I'm kind of at a stage where I'm starting to get back in the swing of things, but you know,
there's a period of time where it's super, super difficult.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much again. I hope this wasn't too painful for you. I know you're sitting in 120-degree heat drinking beer in Palm Springs. So it's nice to see your face. And everyone out there, thank you so much for tuning into Shit Moms Won't Say. Please follow us on all kinds of social media that I will post at the end of this. And tune in next time. See you soon.
Shit Moms Won't Say!